what you're excelling at now to a moment in time in your life where I'm sure things got pretty shit scary. Being diagnosed with cancer is a significant moment in anyone's world. What was that like for you and also your family? My understanding is that a mate of yours got diagnosed with bowel cancer, and his advice was, if something's just not feeling right, go and get it checked. And that's how you discovered prostate cancer?
Yeah. It was, I suppose for me.
That was in 2023?
Yep. It was early 2023. And it was through a good friend of mine, David Flockhart. So he one of his kind of lasting legacies was, if anything's up, just go and get checked. Okay, and I think as men,
we're reluctant to.
And I think of Jim Steins. Kind of like something that he didn't go and see the doctor early enough, right? So one of these, it's kind of like just always, and I'm someone that's kind of kept relatively healthy and fit, and I like to think that I kind of do most of the right things most of the time. So when things were a little bit off, I decided to just go to the GP, and especially with David's words ringing in my ear, and thank God I did, because it was, I've got to say, it's one of the most difficult things that for me and my, I suppose my family's had to kind of, work through. When you get a diagnosis, it's something that, it's like, it definitely hits you from, it's just like having like a shadow box, or like something that you can't see. That's just kind of, somebody tells you there's something wrong that's deadly in your body, but you don't feel like it is really weird.
How has any form of your thinking or life changed since going through that? I mean, you were always glass half full and always, evolution, growth, progress. But I'm sure in those times where you are being told, there is something that could kill you inside of your body, it's pretty hard to dial up that perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it kind of tests the very core of who you are. But there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot that I learnt. Yeah, there was plenty.
Any significant things that now you go, God, if I didn't go through that, maybe I wouldn't have that perspective?
I think, it's sometimes just the more simple things, like, don't sweat the small stuff. I mean, when you get a diagnosis like that, it's like, geez, just really puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
Find the joy
in everything.
Yeah, like just, you don't know how long you're going to be here for. So just, you got to enjoy yourself. Like, you got to laugh, and you got to have fun. You got to live like no one's watching, like as in dance like no one's watching. It's just like, you got to really, really live. The support of family and friends, you can never underestimate that. Yeah. That's just, when you're in a position like that, and what comes out of people, for me, Jen was like an absolute rock. She's also like a, just researching and I suppose what people will do, to make sure that, that you feel okay is just extraordinary. Like, just that humanness is unbelievable to be kind of, a part of. So, and look, luckily for me, I was able to catch it early. And, and there's too many stories. There's too many stories where that doesn't happen for people, and my heart goes out to them, because I know what they're dealing with, and I know what they're going through, and I'm, and it can be devastating.
Thank you for sharing. I'm sure it's not easy reflecting or talking about it.
No, it's still, I mean, it's obviously, it's sort of 18 months past.
How often do you have to be checked? Like, is
So
it ongoing?
typically, what picks it up is a PSA blood test.
Yeah.
So, so for me, and what I try and, encourage, and I suppose the reason why I even decided to go public with it is that I wanted to obviously help others. And I couldn't have, and for me, because it was something that I got early, and thank God I did. But it can be as simple as a checkup. So blood test, PSA test. So if you've got family history, so I've got family history of prostate cancer on both sides of my family. And, it's something that I wish I got tested earlier. Typically you get tested around 50, but, I want to encourage people to get it tested as early as possible, just so you know.
Speaking of the testing, because I went through the E.J. Whitten Foundation Cancer Centre there.
Yeah, Australian Prostate Cancer.
My understanding was that, and I'm sure that there's a lot of men out there that think that they have to have a finger up the bum to check your prostate.
Right, yeah.
That isn't the case.
No, because that doesn't actually pick it up. Like, it only...
Do you think that's why some men are kind of like, oh, no, I'm definitely not going in there?
Probably because it's it can be uncomfortable, and it can be, it can be awkward.
Yeah.
To be able to, to have that. But that only kind of, you're only really, I dare say, you're only feeling the part of the prostate, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't pick up, at the level of what a blood test does. So, give some blood, go in, get it checked, see what your levels are, and then you've got peace of mind.
Yeah.
So I always encourage, excuse me.
You're right.
I always encourage people to go and, get checked as soon as you can.
Yeah.
If there is family history, you want to be on top of that with anything, whether it's heart disease, whether it's anything that might be in your family. You want to be able to get on top of it as quickly as you can. So, for me now it's it's sort of 6 monthly testing, and then do that for a while, and then it'll be a lot longer, which will be fabulous.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that all things are good for the moment. And if you are listening, maybe go and get checked just to make sure that everything's in order as it should be.